To bend safely and pick up a kettlebell, you require a hip hinge. That's the pattern of movement that's going to get you down safely without hurting your lower back. An example. I'm now in what lifters call a wedge position. This angle between my torso and my thigh is what's referred to as a wedge. What I've got are my knees more or less over the top of my ankle joints, my hips have travelled back, my weight is fairly evenly balanced between the balls of my feet and my heels, but probably more on my heels, and I can feel work being done here in my butt and a little bit in my hamstrings. And that's the position. When I pack the shoulders down and activate my lats, that's the position from which I'm going to hike the bell and start my swing. So, what am I doing? I'm keeping a neutral spine throughout that movement. I'm keeping this little hollow shape here, this little hollow shape here. I've got 3 points of contact with this straight line. My sacrum, my mid-back, my thoracic spine, and the back of my head. And my movement is back from my hips, keeping my spine in that nice neutral position. In order to maintain neutral, it helps if I brace my abdominal muscles, engage my abs. This requires us to use the crocodile breathing technique in order to keep breathing, by doing that I've already increased my intra-abdominal pressure and stabilized my lumbar spine. So I'm sending my hips back, 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 back until I can sit down into my hips far enough to reach the kettlebell and then start my movement. It can be useful to do a drill to help you really refine that movement. Stand with your back to a wall, stand with your feet about 15 centimeters or so, about 6 to 8 inches away from the wall, and send your hips back to touch the wall and back up. If I look down in this position, having touched the wall with my bottom, I can see that my knees are still over the top of my ankle joints. I haven't obliterated my view of my feet by the knees just drifting forwards. My back stays in neutral, but I'll run out of ankle flexibility at some point. There's a lot of pressure into my knees. My backside is never going to touch the wall because I haven't sent my hips back. As soon as I run out of ankle flexibility, my heels are going to come off the deck. It's an unstable position, and this is not where you want to be lifting or loading your body. So, to help you to get the idea of sending those hips backwards, make a little blade, a little karate chop blade with your hands, and chop into the front of your hips and allow the direction of that chop to carry the hips back to touch the wall. Your knees should be soft, just soft knees, and they will follow the movement of your hips to touch. I'm not leaning on the wall. The wall is just there as a guide. It's there as a target. So I know that I've reached my target. I can look down, I see my feet, so I know my knees haven't drifted forwards. Back up again. Once you've cracked that, come further away from the wall. Just a couple of centimeters, maybe 3. And chop back, send the hips back to touch. You may want to bring your arms out in front of you as a counterbalance. And just keep on doing that. Move further away. and further away until you're hinging back into thin air. I can't reach the wall anymore, but my position in hip hinge is ideal, and I could let my arms reach down. I can get hold of my kettlebell in that position. One further drill that you might do if you're struggling, it's called a short stop squat. Make a shape like so with your hands and your thumb. Just extend the thumb away from your closed fingers and place your hands on the front of your thighs. Shrug your shoulders up and then push the shoulders down into what we call an anti-shrug. And you can see my hands are reaching down my thighs towards my knees. And I want to keep reaching towards my knees at the same time as sitting down. So reaching down until the V of my thumb and my fingers sits just above my kneecap. And there I am in my short stop squat position. I've braced my abdominal muscles just like before and sat back. I can look down, I can still see my feet, so I know that my knees haven't drifted forwards of my ankles. So let me show you that from the side. Hands in that position. Shrug up, anti-shrug, which helps you to get that nice packed shoulder position. You've pulled the shoulders down and activated your latissimus muscles, latissimus dorsi muscles. And then I'm reaching down, I've braced my abs, I'm sitting my hips back to come to here. My weight is in my heels, not on my toes or the balls of my feet. I can feel a little bit of work being done in my buttock muscles, not much pressure on my knees. Once again, shrug, anti-shrug, keep reaching, send the hips back into that sort of position. Short stop squat. Try those drills, they will help you stay safe when lifting.